So what if I told you that some petrol pump globes, like these, are worth more than your classic car? Before we start this video, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, RD Classics, and follow us on all the other social medias. Thank you. So, petrol pump globes. Here's an example of one. Glass. This is a genuine petrol pump globe because there are a lot of fakes out there. There's a couple of ways you can check that they're genuine or not, but I might go into that later if we've got time. What were they used for? These glass globes were basically advertising, and they were advertising the brand. So in this case, it was Fina Super Plus. These would sit on the top of a petrol pump and they'd be illuminated. So on a night, if you were driving past in your Mark II Jag or whatever, and they were lit up, you knew the petrol station was open. If they weren't lit up, you knew it was closed. As simple as that. Now, these have come highly collectible, and at this minute in time, I'm going to stick my neck on the line now as a collector. I'd probably say these are more collectible than any other piece of automobilia out there. And what makes it so difficult for me to understand is these are glass, and they're not just thick glass. These are really thin, delicate items. So how they survived over the years with all these ones we have here, I have absolutely no idea. Come on, I'll show you what I mean. So what I'm talking about is this Super Shell globe being worth more than this Avery Hardoll petrol pump, and considerably more. I would say, in my opinion, this globe, which is in relatively good condition, it's had a sticker on there from an auction, that's another thing I'll talk to you about, is probably worth 2 times or 3 times more than this Super Shell on the top, which is crazy really when you think of a big lump of mechanical engineering like that and a little piece of glass like that being worth more. But is that worth more because back in the day these things were just, when they were finished with, when they changed the petrol brand from Shell to BP, they'll have took that off and just chucked it in a skip and it'll have been worth nothing. And I remember when I first started collecting these things, this one especially, I remember where this one came from, and the pump. This came from a specialist collector's auction at Harrogate when Bonhams had their auction there, which they don't have their auction there anymore. And I think we paid £300 for this, which, £300, you know, it's not cheap, but it's a lot cheaper than it is today. The pump itself, this came from a collector up at Stanley, I think, and he had these 2 pumps. I've got the other one over there. He had both them in his front room, so there you go. He must have been a really keen collector, because I'm sure my wife wouldn't let me do that. But again, the other pumps on the top row there, the National and the Finas, they've all sort of either come from specialist auctions or antique fairs or automobilia jumbles. I think the Super Plus came from a specialist auction. And there's 1 or 2 specialist auctions you can buy bits and bobs from. It's always a good thing to buy from a reputable auction, because some auctions sell fakes, but that's another story. Come on, I'll show you something else. I've already shown you that a glass petrol pump globe can be worth more than the petrol pump it stands on. But what if I told you that this Super Shell white petrol pump globe is worth more than a motorcycle in pretty much pristine condition from round about the same area? Would you believe us? Come on, we'll have a look. So here it is, Kawasaki Samurai 250, and look at the condition of it, but ignore the little bit of dust that's on it. Who would have thought in a million years that a petrol pump globe would be worth more than this bike? And a lot of people out there will be saying, well, you know, you can ride the bike, you can have fun with the bike. You can, but you can still have fun with the petrol pump globe, but it's a different kind of fun. This bike is in fantastic condition. I've had it, I don't know, probably 10 years, and it was fully restored. It's had everything done to it. I can't believe that this is worth less than that globe, but it is. So what I was talking about before, what I mentioned when we were looking at that Avery Hardoll petrol pump and the Super Shell globes, was fake globes. And people out there really need to take care. I don't have any fake globes in the museum or in my collection. I bought this the other day and it was on top of a pump But what you've got to be careful is copies. And this is a copy, and for me, the easiest way to tell a copy is the weight. These probably weigh 3 times more than a normal globe. And if you look at the rim here, you can see how thick the glass is. And it's very difficult for people to replicate the thinness of a real original globe. The other way that's easy to spot, if you look, they're actually coming off this. These are transfers which are just stuck on the top. So that's the other way you can tell. Probably the third way you can always tell as well, which is not always 100%, there's no writing inside the globe. Now I'm going to show you on this other globe what I mean by that. So going back to this Fina globe, I can show you on this one what I mean. This is made by a company called Halliware, and they always stamp, well not always, but 99% of the time, they stamp the name on there. And also, this one hasn't got it, but they'll also put the company that's bought the globe, so it could say property of the Fina Petrol Company, property of BP. So in effect, those globes always remain the property of those petrol pump companies. And you've got to be so careful, you really, really have to, because some of these petrol pump globes, like I've been saying, are worth more than classic cars, and I'm going to show you. This little glass, it's not a petrol pump globe, it's an oil pump globe, which makes it even rarer. And age-wise, I don't know, probably coming up to 100 years old now, which is a bloody long time for anything, I suppose. That is worth more than a nearly 100-year-old car, which I think is absolutely crazy. And I'm going to show you the car. And here's the car, a beautiful little Austin 7. What a cutie. Fabric bodied 1920s car, and I still can't get my head round it. I still can't get my head round that little tiny oil globe is worth more than that car. I can't get my head round it. But I don't know, what's the future? Are these globes going to go up in price? Are they going to stay where they are? Are they going to go down? I suppose that's the fun about collecting. But I know one thing, I'm a collector of classic cars, I'm a collector of automobilia, I'm a dealer of classic cars, and I'll deal with anybody on automobilia or cars. So if you've got globes and you want to swap them for cars, or you've got cars and you want to swap them for globes, just give us a shout at Hardy Classics. Bye bye now.